Hey, welcome back to another Black City Coffee vlog. In this video, I'm going to talk about what I learned about pre-buying coffees for farmers. I think with Ryan, he was like, I don't think he really nailed it. And here's the link to the video because I couldn't find the video. And that's okay. So what we're going to do in this video is it's like a part 3 about talking about pre-buying coffees and how that actually helps farmers. We talked about that in the last video, and I didn't really quite understand it yet, and I needed to do a little bit more research on my own, and so I did. That was a week ago, so now I have to refresh my memory, finally having time to sit down and make a video. So here we go. We're going to watch this video, and then we're going to kind of dissect it and kind of break it down, okay?
Meet Santiago. Santiago is a coffee farmer in Guatemala, where he and his family produce around 1,000 pounds of coffee cherries per year. With workers to pay yearly maintenance costs and the need to pay himself, this puts Santiago in a tight spot because coffee farmers don't traditionally receive payment until the end of the harvest, or sometimes even later. Covering upfront expenses requires Santiago, like most farmers, to sell 50% or more of his crop to coyotes, street-level buyers who pay cash up front.
Coyotes. What are coyotes? That's a slang term. Okay.
In exchange for lower rates. It's a win-lose situation for farmers. Santiago gets the immediate cash he needs to keep his farm operational, but loses money in the long run. At Collaborative Origins, we came to learn that producer profitability isn't just a result of good.
Okay, so I've watched this a couple times, right? And I was like, I'm watching it as a roaster. I'm watching it as somebody who's not only just a roaster, but maybe a new roaster. Not only just a new roaster, but maybe a new green buyer. Okay, so producer profitability, that means profitability, profits for the farmer, okay, isn't just a result of good price points. Price points are what they're buying the coffee at by the pound. Now, I did a little digging, and I knew this a little, but you forget it. And basically, how coffee is priced around the world is called the C price, and C stands for commodity. I'll link you this video. It's really great on, I think, explaining it. And it's not on roasted coffee. It's green raw coffee that they are pricing. And just historically, it's always been cheap. The ceiling for, or the C price ceiling for coffee, and because it's not just including specialty coffee, it's commoditized coffee, so like coffee in a diner and stuff. So that's basically the main type of coffee that is that we're talking about when we're talking about C price. Not particularly all the time specialty coffee, even though specialty coffee and how it's priced and how it's looked at is based upon this historic, C price of coffee. So this includes the cheap stuff and the specialty stuff, to my understanding. Okay, you can always correct me. I'm learning too, all right? So this is a problem because coffee is a soft commodity. Gold, for your instance, is a hard commodity, right? And the problem is that as supply goes down, prices should go up. Based on basic economics, right? This is a really good video. Check this one out. Okay, but it doesn't do that with coffee. So even though supply goes down of coffee, it's not really reliable that the price of this coffee will go up. In fact, the ceiling, the C price for coffee in general is about $3 a pound. Okay, so we're not talking about Panama, Elita Estate, and coffees that go for auction. We're talking more about other farms that are maybe like up and coming. We're talking about Santiago from Guatemala, right? Maybe don't command that type of price point for their coffee. Okay, so most of the time it's not your 98 points geishas. It's coffee from Mexico, it's coffee from Guatemala, Nicaragua, so it's such and such. Okay, so let's continue. Oh, and that's like the C price, right? So this one, what they're talking about, good price points. So like I've been reading, and people are trying to, some people in the industry are maybe proposing solutions like, hey, let's just pay a friggin' flat rate of like $4 something a pound, and that will just like solve all the problems. Unfortunately, it's a very complicated issue, so we can't just change the price points, which is what I think Collaborative Origins is trying to get at. And this is their way of hitting this issue or this problem, this challenge from another angle, because there are many little like points in the chain of how this coffee gets to you, how it's bought, and at what point in the chain it's bought. So not just like, you know, when it's ready to be shipped and stuff like that after harvest. That's where you're pricing these price points or getting these numbers on price points, but maybe even before that, which we came across the idea of pre-buy, right? So let's hit play.
Price points, but also good payment terms. We've created a model that allows roasters to partner with us in alleviating these problems. Every bag purchased ensures that farmers will receive 50% of their coffee's value ahead of the harvest. When we pre-buy in this way, we are reducing the need for the farmers to deposit with coyotes or take out bank loans, while at the same time maximizing revenue and reinforcing a sense of collaborative partnership.
Okay, so basically saying Collaborative Origins will pre-buy 50% of their harvest, you know, for that particular time before it's even ready to harvest. That way they don't have to maybe like take out a loan for operational costs, for labor, for water, whatever, how they're processing the coffee before it's even harvested, right? So it can get costly because you have to put all this money up front as a producer before you even get your return for your investment, all this work you put in. And there's no ROI until like the end of the harvest, and this is many months after you've actually put in money to like harvest, care, cultivate, sort, pick, all that stuff that's involved in the producing side of coffee, or in the production side of coffee.
All of this ultimately leads to better relationships and better coffee, which is what we're all about. Visit our website to learn more and view our
Collaborative Origins. So if I'm looking at this as like, this is my tip for you, okay? Just list like, you know, feedback. I don't know why, and I already told, you know, Ryan this. I don't know why it's a problem. I'm not speaking to you as me. I'm speaking to you as a potential customer. I don't know why coffee. Like, these are the questions people would ask when viewing a video like this, or if they're questioning why they want to buy from you. I don't know why it's a problem that you need to even do pre-buys, right? So yes, we explained the coyotes. Yes, we explained that, but I think we need to hammer that pain point home a little bit more. Marketing is all about like communicating the pain and how people can help ease that pain, right? So I would say, like, I need to know why it's a problem. Why do I care about it? Why do I care that you pre-buy, right? Why should I give my money to you versus another guy who I feel is also doing a good job? Like, break it down for me a little bit more. I feel like I need to have a little bit more emotional connection with why you think pre-buying is important, and why I should care about it, right? And I know I should, but I don't really know why. Like, for me, you told me we're talking the DMs, and I care because I'm already at that point. But for somebody who's not at that point, right? Who's not taking those steps to care. And with other people, it could just be, you know, another step in the chain of like, for them to make that decision to buy from you. And yeah, because I do care, and I do care about the future of coffee in general. Like, I think this idea of pre-buying is not only just like to help this one farmer, but like maybe it's also a way to like shake up the historic price or perspective of coffee being treated only as like a very soft commodity. You know, why don't we, I can't really get an answer to this when I Google it, is like, why don't we value coffee the same way we do as wine? why do wine producers look very like, I mean, it looks still hard and very like laborious and everything, but why do we look at wine in a sort of prestigious way versus coffee? And then at coffee, we always hear these like kind of like sob stories and stuff like that, and you feel bad, you know? And I don't think we want that. I think definitely what we want to do, like you're saying, is like we want to collaborate, right? You have Collaborative Origins is a perfect name. Yeah, we want to collaborate. So yeah, currently producers have historically made very little, very less, maybe less than like $1 a pound. I think, so I was taking little notes as to like, why should I care about this? Speaking objectively, like how could I make this video better to bring more awareness or to be a better marketing tool, right? Why should I care? So like, historically, producers have made very little, less than $1 a pound. For the highest was around $3. And despite inflation, like right now, or what the year it is, or the operational costs, like that doesn't go up. This $3, if that's the highest, it doesn't go, historically hasn't gone higher than that. So it's come to my attention, like as I was researching this, like solutions just really aren't clear. I'm not really sure. Like I need somebody who is a lot more educated on the subject, or who is really aware of like all sides of what's going on between producers, the middlemen, roasters, and things like that. It's complicated. It seems kind of fairly complicated. So here's what's being done. Okay, like I researched how roasters, cafes, buyers what they're doing about it right now. So what they're doing about it right now is more transparency in the prices, you know, what's bought and sold. Like there's this iFinca app. Again, I'll put the link in the description. It's a blockchain ledger, which is super interesting, very cool. You could see what like coffee was bought at from a producer. Like, it lays it out on a blockchain, like think of crypto. You need more empathy from buyers, right? So I was just talking about that. Like, why should I care, right? Why should I care? Just like, and this is not for me to be callous or anything like that. That's for you to ask yourself, okay, if I have this, like, to me, it's obvious why people should care. But if you're the marketer and you're making the content and you're trying to push this mission forward, you have to answer those questions, and you have to answer them all the time. Believe me, I deal with it all the time in our wedding photography business. I have to answer what I call dumb questions. Like this may be a dumb question for you, Ryan, but for somebody who's really naive, or, you know, they're new, just choose me as your, like, you know, your customer model, you know, like how could I help Meg care about why they should buy from me? You know, if it's not me, it's, you know, somebody else really similar to me. Okay. More transparency in the supply chain. So that's that, you know, like a blockchain ledger or something like that. More communication, more discussion, and no judgment. You know, this is just the way it's been done. And throwing fire and throwing blame and guilt and anger at the problem doesn't help. Like, there's a lot of coffee can get political, you know, like I mentioned before, I think in the last video, it can get political, and I think that's annoying. I mean, especially if the people that suffer from it the most are the producers. They're the ones making the coffee, man. I'm so grateful for them. But the fact of the matter is like, you know, third world or developing versus first world or developed countries, you know, it's not equal. So there's no reason to throw judgment on it or hate or anything like that. Like, let's just talk about it more, have more dialogue, be honest about it, and then find solutions and move forward. Like, there's no reason to make it political, you know? Even though that's just freaking what happens, is annoying, but it happens. And hopefully most people in the industry will be like, I'm over that. Let's just find solutions. So I want to give you guys, I want to start, you know, I want to step up to the plate and try to be more transparent, right? So I'm going to give you guys my full transparency of my supply chain. Okay, so currently right now, It could change, but all of my raw coffee is sourced from Hasea. And this is Hasea. Hold on. This is where I source all of my coffee. Hasea Coffee Source. I like it because I get to physically go there, pick up the coffee, cup with Jared. So this is Jared, who we are. I'll show you Jared. All family. This is the daddy. This is Jared. This is Luke. This is the youngest one, Michael, I think. I forget. I forget your name. I'm sorry. I haven't met him personally yet, I don't think. Anyway, I get all my green here. You can see exactly how much I paid for it if they still have it. Like, let's search up Chilcat, okay? Guatemala. Okay, Chacul, right? That's the one. You could see what I bought it at. So I buy the 20 kilo bags. I bought it at $6.56 per pound. Right there. You could see that. So some of that money is going to Hasea. Some of that money is going to the farmer. And when I talk to Jared and I talk about how he chooses where to source from, to sum it up, I got the vibes. I don't have like a proof blockchain ledger, but I got the vibes that he's a stand-up guy, and I've gotten to know him over many years, and I've met him when he was at Bodhi Coffee, and then he, branched off and did his own thing, and then he's just been the truest motherfucker ever. So I love him, and so like I trust him, right? I have no blockchain proof or whatever, but he says that it needs to be a win-win for him. And I was like, you speak in my language, because that's what it needs to be all the time, to collaborate, okay? So this is where I source all my green right now. I buy it by the pound, yep. I roast it, I bag it, I label it, I make the labels myself. I sell it online via Shopify. You guys see that? There's a cost to running your store on Shopify. It's $30 a month. I make about $2 a bag. So my price point is like $19, right? So I'll make $2 from a bag. I don't make a lot of money on this coffee. I don't do it for money, obviously. And then you guys pay for this whole process here. All that, you pay for that, right? Because you guys are getting the end of the chain of the cycle of this coffee. And then you pay for shipping, because shipping is ridiculous. I'm sorry, shipping's ridiculous and it's inflated, but yeah. We just try to keep it fair, okay? So what does this mean for roasters like me, like you? Maybe you're a home roaster like me, okay? What's it mean for consumers? What's it mean for the future? For me, like, I wrote down here, I was just like thinking to myself, like, what does this mean for me? Like, I've always tried to be mindful about buying from a source that I trust. I got to get the good vibes. And I feel like the producers are good. Like, they told me, they went to Origin, they told me. It wasn't like he just ordered it online. No, he goes to Origin, Jared goes to Origin, talks to the farmers, has a real experience with them, and brings back what he has cupped. He's certified. I trust his palate. And he brings that back, So I can't see anything that proves to me, like I said, about a blockchain or whatever, but like, if I feel like I can trust you as a person, like I use my gut, right? They use their word. I trust that. For consumers, it just means you can start by asking, It doesn't mean you have to be like so freaking concerned about the politics or the economics of coffee yet. You don't have to go like that yet. You can just start by asking things like, where's this coffee from? Where's this from? I taste blueberries. That's weird. Where's this from? Like, it doesn't have to be for me, right? It's like any coffee that you come across. This tastes like tobacco. Maybe you're in Denny's, right? This tastes like tobacco or burnt whatever. But still to just be curious about, why does it taste like that? Not to judge them, but just be like, oh, why? what makes this coffee better than this one? Why is this one freaking $5 and this is $1.50? Ask the questions, you know? There's nothing wrong with that. Be curious. That's our motto over here at Black City Coffee. Okay. Yeah, like I said, nothing to get anxious about. Just feed your natural curiosity. I think it's best to win people over in the long run with genuine, honest, caring, and empathy, not marketing tactics. Like, you know, Ryan, I'm talking to you about your marketing video and like how it could be more effective. And like, we don't have to be slimy or weird or dishonest about how we market. We can just show. You know, like, I'm a big proponent of that. Like how I market is I show what we do because I'm proud of what we do, and you don't do anything grimy or weird or slimy or dishonest. I show exactly what we do. I'm proud of what we do, and I just show it. You know, I don't even think of it as marketing, but it is marketing technically because it's a tool that I'm using to show you to buy my stuff ultimately, right? Like in wedding photography, if I talk about that. The same thing with coffee. I'm showing you how it's done, and sometimes it ends up in sales, and I'm like, cool. All right, for the future. Okay, so yeah, like I was saying, like I think collaborative origins is a part of something new and exciting. It's a new idea. I'm sure other green sourcer middlemen, I don't know what the name is yet, are also kind of on that chain. They want to do it better. They want to have a win-win situation. In the end, everybody's just trying to live a decent life, you know? And we, as coffee lovers, are all like, we want really good coffee for years to come, right? Into our 50s, 60s, 70s, whatnot, right? So I think I'm really positive about it. I think even though you'll learn maybe like some hardened truths about where coffee was coming from or how hard it is for coffee to be here in our cup like this, and it might make you feel a little bad, but I would really encourage you to just kind of like let any of that judgment go on yourself or guilt or something like that, and just, you know, be curious. And I think vlogs like this are good too. Like they just show and talk and start conversations if possible, and even if it's just with one more person, like that's a win, you know. There's a lot of well-produced videos that are not just a talking head like this. They've got the B-roll, they got all that stuff. So, you know, again, feed your natural curiosity to learn about this. And I think the more and more that we get people to talk about it, and it becomes more of a mainstream thought in the coffee industry, and it's not just this thing we kind of like sweep under the rug, like, yeah, it comes from a really, you know, like developing country and it's so hard on them, you know. I would really like to change that rhetoric for the producers, you know, like that sucks. I would like for them to live better because they're providing such an awesome thing for us, you know. It seems like it should be moving in a better direction as the years go on. Yeah, I say we trust in the people that love coffee and find a way to make a win-win land for everybody. And I don't think that's too naive. You know, I was thinking, is this naive to just, you know, be very positive about it? I think it maybe in some way, but I also think that you know, change happens really slowly, but it can happen with things like this and more people just doing things like this, but just, you know, starting the conversation. And also, I think it's important that we're also seeing that producers are taking more control of their own fate, like learning how to roast, learning how to market, how to brand themselves. You know, when I came across, I'll link it here. That's my video right here. Yeah, bubblegum coffee from Forest Coffee, right? So remember, I put a video on it. I'll link it in the description, but like they were killing it with their marketing and branding. It was quite a bit more expensive for me at the time, but like for people who have a lot more capital and don't do this as a hobby, like definitely. And I saw Mill City Roasters pick up some of their coffee and offer it through them. So I think it's gonna happen, you know, something good. If not the most ideal situation win-win that we're dreaming of right now, something better, you know, because $3 a pound for the last friggin' 100 years or whatever at max, that's crazy, right? Like if you really think about it. So yeah, it won't come without, you know, progress won't come without loss or sacrifice or hardness or whatever, you know. Life makes trades with you. Life is going to trade you. So sometimes the trade is hard. Sometimes the trade is really tough, but you know, that's how we make roll and grow and everything like that. All right, so that was it. I'm doing more tests on the Ikawa with Collaborative Origins coffee. I'm testing 50 gram versus 100 gram, whether or not this machine is consistent. Let's cup it, let's taste it, and I'll see you guys in the next video, okay? Bye.